These are without a doubt my drugstore holy grails. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel and in today's video I'm taking you through my #1 makeup product in every single category from the drugstore. This was actually a lot harder than what I thought it would be. So for a couple of the categories, I've got like a second and a third and maybe an honourable mention. So if you are interested in hearing what my #1 Holy Grail products are, then please do keep on watching. I have already filmed my #1 in every category for luxury high-end, and I will be releasing that probably next week. So let's start with one of the most important categories to me, and that is eyebrows. I have to use eyebrow pens because I have no eyebrow hairs. So my current favourite brow pen is from L'Oreal. This is the L'Oreal Faux Brow. So I have this in the shade Dark Brunette, and this is quite unique to any other brow pen that I've used in the fact that it includes a double brush tip, which obviously mimics your actual brow hairs and obviously gives you fuller looking brows. I have had really amazing success with this brow pen, and the thing that I love about it the most is that it's transfer proof, smudge resistant, heat resistant, and it's water resistant. Once it's on, it's not going anywhere, and that is obviously very important to me because if they smudge across my face, I'm going to look absolutely ridiculous. So I can absolutely count on this. But I also have to give a little mention to the Maybelline Builder Brow. This is also fantastic. And the good thing about the Maybelline Builder Brow is that it does have gel on the other side. I don't use it because it makes my eyebrows shiny. But if you're looking for a 2-in-1, then this is a really good option. I mean, there's not much between these, but I've just found, yeah, just a little bit more success with the Faux Brow. I really, really like it. For brow pencils, again, I do have a little bit of a toss-up between L'Oreal and Maybelline. I love these two equally, the Maybelline Express Brow. Now, I think there's two versions of this. There's a bigger tip and there's a micro tip, and this is the micro tip. The other one is the L'Oreal Infallible Brows, which is another micro precision pencil, and that is absolutely fantastic. I don't think I could pick between the two. I think these two are very, very similar, and they do a very, very similar job. I really like them both. And for holding the brows in place, it's a no-brainer. It's my e.l.f. brow laminating gel. I can't tell you how much I love this. I can't imagine me using anything else on my eyebrows apart from this. So it looks a little bit scary because it looks white, but it dries absolutely clear. And it also has two spoolies at the end, two different sized spoolies. So you can go for a full laminated look with this. Obviously I don't, because I don't have the brow hairs to do it. But if you want to have natural looking brows, you can achieve it with this too. One really light layer is going to keep your eyebrows in place all day. It's non-sticky, it has no cast. It really is an absolutely phenomenal product, and nothing I ever try ever comes close to this. I'm going to be really annoying when it comes to primers. I have dry skin. I do not need to use a specific primer on my skin. I need to properly prep my skin, make sure my skin's hydrated. So I'm going to share with you the drugstore products that I use. It's the Embryolisse Lait-Crème Concentrate. This is an amazing multi-use product. So this is a moisturizer and it's a primer in one. It's very, very similar to my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, but it's just quite light. So you can get this in a smaller version and in this full size too. This is used by many, many makeup artists. You'll even see Lisa Eldridge using this. She loves it too. It's an absolutely fantastic product. So if you do have dry skin like me, I really do think you would like something like this. It really is an absolutely beautiful product, and again, it eliminates the need for a specific primer. So obviously this doesn't help people with oily skin, and if I do turn to a primer, there's one that I turn to, and it's this from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and even back to the start of my channel, you will see me talking about this. This is my preferred primer, which is the cream. And it really does just fill in and blur those pores. But again, with my skin type, I don't need to use a specific primer, but if I did, the e.l.f. is what I would go to. I did want to give an honourable mention to a different kind of primer. This is from Rimmel. This is the Multitasker Better Than Filters Primer. It is basically a glow booster, and my holy grail glow booster is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. This is the next best thing to that, in my opinion. So it's pretty liquidy, but oh my goodness, it just gives such a flawless, glowy, beautiful finish to the skin. So with my skin being dry, a lot of the time it can look very dull, and this just gives me the boost that I need. And it gives a really, really obviously minimal amount of coverage, but I just love how it makes my skin look. So I did just want to mention that because I feel like it's the closest Charlotte Tilbury dupe that you're going to get. Next, concealer. So my favorite concealer from the drugstore at the moment is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I love it so much that I picked up 2 shades of this. So I like to use 130 where my hollowing is, and then I like to use 140 on the outer corner of my eye. I really, really enjoy this concealer, and the great thing about it is it's absolutely brilliant all over the face too. It's very hydrating. It's just such an incredibly smooth concealer. Now, this is on the pricey side if you live where I live. So I'm in Ireland. This costs about €20, 19 or 20. But I know my US friends have told me that this is like $10 or $12 in the US, which I think we're getting a bit of a raw deal here. I don't know why Milani is so expensive over here. But anyway, even though it's more pricey, for me, it's absolutely worth it. My under eyes are the biggest struggle of my life. They are dark, they are thin, they are crepey. They are not great. So I'm always on the hunt for that Holy Grail concealer. I don't get creasing, I don't get settling, and it lasts all day. I really adore this. But I did just want to mention this concealer, which is the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. This will always be in my drawer. I think this is absolutely beautiful. Maybe the Milani just gives me a little bit more coverage. I think if you have dry or mature under eyes, you would really like these concealers. So my all-time favourite foundation will not be a shock if you have been to my channel in the past, and it's the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. Just everything about this I adore. I have it on today, obviously, but I have it on without the Rimmel underneath. This is a true satin foundation, so somewhere between a soft matte and a dewy foundation. And funny story, when I first tried this, I thought it was nice. I liked it, but I wasn't blown away. But when I kept using it, I just fell more and more in love with it. So I have this in the shade 25, which is light neutral. I literally had to squeeze this tube so hard to get it out because I'm literally on my last legs of this tube. The thing that I love about this foundation is that it gives me good medium coverage, but still feels super hydrating on the skin. You know, sometimes you can get a satin foundation and it can not only feel heavy, but it can look heavy on the skin, whereas this doesn't. It just sinks right into the skin. It just evens everything out and just remains looking really good all day. It really is a dependable foundation. It's a foundation that I can wear and not have to worry about. It doesn't sit into any of my lines. It doesn't emphasize my wrinkles. It gives me great medium buildable coverage. If I'm going somewhere where I need my makeup to last all day, I'm going to go for this foundation because I can absolutely depend on it. I can trust it to not let me down during the day. It would take something seriously crazy special to knock this off the top spot for me. Now, I did just want to mention another foundation, and it's the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. This is stunning, and I've used this for years. I actually think they've reformulated it now, so the bottle might look different. So I've got this in the shade 3N, but this has a skin matching technology. So as long as you are close enough to your shade, so not miles out, you are going to find your perfect match. If you go back to the start of my channel, I mean, literally within the first few months of having my channel, I did a roundup of mature skin foundations, and this was on that list. I think this is one of the best foundations at the drugstore. It gives a really nice satin finish to the skin like the e.l.f. does. As I mentioned in that video way back when, I think this is a really good dupe for the Armani Luminous Silk if you've been wanting to try that but don't want to spend all that money. And actually, I think this is better. So I do want to talk about my favourite skin tint, and it's this from L'Oreal. It's the L'Oreal True Match Plumping Tinted Serum. Yeah, I love this. I mean, this bottle is pretty much dead now. I adore this product so much. It gives me, again, a beautiful satin natural finish to the skin. It's very self-setting. I can build it up to give me a good medium coverage if I want it to. I think it's just beautiful. In fact, I recently reviewed the new Armani skin tint, and I feel like this is very, very similar. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous, and a product that I really could not do without. But just in the same breath, I did want to talk about this, which is the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. This is one of my all-time favorite products, and I did think about putting this in the foundation category because although it says it's a tint, it's not a tint, definitely not a tint. It's definitely a foundation, but I think the coverage is customizable. So if you want medium coverage, you can. If you want just a really light layer, you can have that too. But these are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous products, and they are absolute staples in my routine. So my favorite contour is actually a liquid contour, which is unusual because I don't really like liquid contour and bronzer. I just find them a little bit faffy. But I cannot think of one other contour that beats this, which is the e.l.f. Bronzer Contour Duos. So as the name suggests, you can use this as a duo, so a bronzer and a contour. And honestly, on a daily basis, I'm not wearing a contour and a bronzer together. I'm wearing one or the other, usually bronzer. I actually do mix up the shades that I use, but this is light medium that I'm applying here. I absolutely adored this when I first reviewed it, and then, like with many of my products, it gets left in a drawer, but then I picked it back up again and just love it so, so much. This really acts like a high-end bronzer contour. The way that it just sinks into the skin, the way that it blends out so incredibly effortlessly. If you get your right shade, this can be such a winning product. It literally will melt into your skin, and that's what you want from a liquid product. Well, from any product really, but this really does become one with your skin. I don't get any muddiness, any patchiness. It really is such a high quality product, and I would recommend it to anybody, whether you are a novice or an expert. I think it's a truly phenomenal contour. We're going to talk about bronzer now, and I am a massive cream bronzer fan. Okay, that's my go-to. Favorite cream bronzer is this from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Lifter Sticks, and I have this in the shade 65. So these sticks come in a range of different colours, so you can actually use these as a contour, as a foundation, as a concealer. You just have to choose the correct shade for the purpose. These give absolutely beautiful coverage. They are so incredibly creamy and easy to blend out, but not too emollient feeling. So just the perfect level of creaminess. And they are not sticky, they're not super glowy. They're just very, very natural looking. And for me, the key to a good cream bronzer is, first of all, how well it blends out, but then how well it fuses with the skin. And I was really delighted when I tried these. I really hoped that they would be amazing, and they really, really are. And not to mention how convenient they are for travel. You know, this just fits in your purse. An amazing launch from Maybelline. Absolutely love them. They feel so high end. Moving on to blush now, and it's an absolute no-brainer what my favourite drugstore blush is. It's these absolute beauties from Morphe. These are the Cheek Thrills blush trios. So I have a couple of shades, but literally I would buy them all, but that would be very unhinged because I have so much blush. Blush is my favorite makeup product. It's my favorite. I love it. I love it. This is actually my favorite shade, which is Blind Date. And if you told me that I could only use this blush for the rest of my days on this earth, I would be quite happy with that. Just everything about this shade, this blush, the formula, the presentation, everything about it is absolutely top tier. These are a multi-face trio, and there are 3 textures in here. So there's a satin cream, which is primarily what I use. There is a luminous balm, I guess like a highlighting balm, and there's a velvet powder. So to be honest, I don't really make much use of the luminous balm, but I have used it and it's absolutely fine. But it's the satin cream blush that is my favorite, and I really love the powder too. So this shade Blind Date is a mid-tone pink, and I just think it is perfection. No matter what makeup look I'm going for, no matter what I'm wearing, this will pair beautifully with it. It's so creamy, but leaves this beautiful satin finish. They are absolutely effortless to blend, and believe me when I say that, they do the work for you. They have absolutely amazing longevity. I never need to come and top this up during the day. And I did just want to take a little minute to say that we have a beautiful mirror here, which is a fantastic mirror. The mirrors in Morphe products have been so good, honestly, I can't tell you. And the biggest surprise for me was, well, from 2025, I'm going to say is Morphe, because I feel like Morphe are really trying to redeem themselves. They are making such a comeback. And I think we talk about that with brands so often. Oh, they're making a comeback, yay. But they really are making a comeback, so yay. But if you're going to try anything from Morphe, I would say start with these, because I would be very, very surprised if you did not love these as much as I do. So highlighters now, and just being honest, I'm not the biggest highlighter fan, mainly because of my rosacea, okay? So even today and in the demo, I didn't put a lot of highlighter on because it just emphasizes my rosacea pimples, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I've actually got two different types of highlighter, and one of them is fairly new to me, and I was literally blown away by this highlighter because I thought I would hate it, but I love it. It's the NYX Buttermelt highlighter, and I have this one in the shade Glaze It Butter. Before I go on, these actually look absolutely beautiful as eyeshadow as well. So they are quite multifunctional. I knew when I swatched this for the first time that it was really, really pigmented. So I was genuinely dreading trying it because I thought that it would just emphasize everything that was wrong on my face. And I couldn't have been more wrong. It is so incredibly smooth and blurring. Obviously, if there is texture there, it's going to highlight it, okay? It's not a miracle worker, but this just blends so beautifully. I expected it to be a little bit patchy, to be honest, and NYX products have been a bit up and down, but I can say that this has been one of my all-time favorite NYX releases. I think it's an absolutely beautiful highlighter and one that could absolutely pass for high-end. Now, the other highlighter that I did want to mention is this one from L'Oreal. This is the Lumi Le Glace highlighter. Oh, wow, I love this. This is basically a highlighter ball, and it's stunning. So I have this in the shade Glassy Pearl Eclat, and can you see how wet looking it is? So it is different to the NYX. The NYX would be something that I would want if I was going all out with my highlighter, but this just gives a really beautiful wet look to the skin, and it's gorgeous on the eyelids. Absolutely beautiful. If I'm going for a low makeup day, I'll pop that on my eyelids. It is so gorgeous, and this will emphasize texture much less than anything else, especially powder. So yes, that is an absolute favorite of mine as well. I've really enjoyed using this. You see what happens to my hair when it gets hot? Look at how fluffy my head is. Can't believe I'm filming like this, seriously. Just quickly, my favourite eyeshadow primer from the drugstore is from e.l.f. It's the Lock It Down Eyeshadow Primer. This is truly fantastic. Honestly, I use concealer most days because I'm lazy, and we all know that, that's a running theme. But if I really need my eyeshadow to last, I'm going to use an eyeshadow primer, and this is my absolute go-to from the drugstore. So not only is it going to make your eyeshadow last longer, and it's going to prevent creasing on your eyelids, but it's also going to elevate the colour on your eyelids. So it's going to make that colour pop. This is the best I've ever tried at the drugstore. I've tried many eyeshadow primers, and this always just comes out on top. So eyeshadow now, and I never thought before this year that this brand with these palettes would take my #1 spot at all. It was not on my radar, but here we are, and my #1 palette come from Morphe. I really can't pick between these two because they do something different, but these are the Morphe Chroma Plus 12 pan palettes. Well, I started with this one, which is Rose Frequency, and as the name would suggest, it just has these lovely rosy tones in here. Listen, I used Morphe back in the day, all right, when they were big, and I had those ridiculously humongous eyeshadow palettes, and I had them. I bought them because everybody said they were good, and I never liked them. I was never a fan. I would maybe use one eyeshadow out of 7 billion that were in the palette. And when I heard people talking about these, well, I had to go and buy one, and oh my goodness, you have a mixture of metallics, you have mattes, and you have shimmers. And I can tell you that I used to hate Morphe mattes. I just couldn't get on with them. They were crumbly, they were dusty, and these are the opposite, okay? These blend absolutely seamlessly. They are pigmented, there's no patchiness like there used to be, and the shimmers, well, they just speak for themselves. Now I did pick up Flickering Sands as well, which I have used in a separate video. I think it was in one of my monthly favorites. I can't remember which video that was, but I will link it for you. Flickering Sands is obviously more of a neutral toned palette, but very, very great for everyday makeup looks. I mean, they are just phenomenal. They actually do these in a smaller 6-pan palette, I think, as well. So yeah, very good. You would not know the difference if you blind tested this and blind tested something from high end. You wouldn't know that this was from the drugstore. Not at all. I can't talk about eyeshadow without talking about one and done eyeshadows, because honestly, on a day-to-day basis, I'm not wearing eyeshadows from an eyeshadow palette. I'm wearing one and done eyeshadows because that's just my vibe. It's just what I go for because it's easy and I don't have to think about it. So there were 2 products that I wanted to mention. The first are these L'Oreal Le Eyeshadow Sticks. These are phenomenal. These are obviously cream eyeshadows. They come in a range of mattes and satins and shimmers, and I have many of these, but I just think these are so easy. So they are literally just pens, and you will rub it all over your eyelid, blend it out. It takes 2 seconds and it will stay there and last all day. In my experience, the best way to use these is on a bare eyelid. I obviously on a day-to-day basis I'm creating really easy, simple looks with these, but I have used these in conjunction with one another and created a really nice eye look. Honestly, these are beautiful and they feel gorgeous. They feel really nice on the eyelid, really nice and cooling on the eye. Really perfect eyeshadow from L'Oreal. But I also have to mention these from Revlon. These are the One Pot Cream Shadows. These are amazing. These, like the L'Oreal, just make your life so easy. So you literally just wash it over your eyelid and it's not going to budge. It's going to stay there all day. My favorite shade is Caramel, and honestly, I think everybody would love a shade like this. I think it's so universal. Caramel in the Revlon is just my perfect everyday shade. I think these are described as shimmery, but in my opinion, they look a little bit more metallic, but I think these are available in matte as well. Don't sleep on Revlon cream eyeshadows. They are popular for a reason. It's because they are such a beautiful and flawless eyeshadow. I think people are going to be mad with me now because when it comes to eyeliner, I honestly don't really use much eyeliner. I use one from high end, which is my Victoria Beckham, and the only other one that I will pick up from the drugstore is this one from Essence, because I just don't buy them. And hear me out before you get mad at me. It's because I tend to use eyeshadow as an eyeliner. That just suits my deep set eyes better and I just feel more confident with it. But if I want some tight lining, just really tight towards the lash line, I will use this, the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil, because it is just that, a super long lasting eye pencil. It's creamy without being too creamy. You know, some eyeliners can smudge a little bit too much. This has a really nice balance, and I really like how I don't need to sharpen it because it's literally a twist up. It comes in a few different colors. I have it in hot chocolate and I have it in black as well. It's really, really easy and it's simple for someone like me who doesn't have a clue what they're doing when it comes to eyeliner. Mascara is my favorite category at the drugstore. I rarely buy mascaras from high end, and when I do, I'm always disappointed because drugstore do mascara better, in my opinion. And I know you won't be surprised at what my number one is. It's this from Essence. This is the Essence Lash Without Limits. This mascara cost me around €4 and it's the best mascara that I've ever used. So it just gives me what I need from a mascara, which is ease of use. It clings onto my lashes, it gives me lovely length, and it gives me some volume as well. I mean, it's not the most volumizing, but the lengthening is perfect. I can do my lashes within literally seconds with this mascara, and once it's on, it's on. It's not going to budge anywhere. Now, in the literature, it says that it's a tubing mascara, and honestly, it does, I guess, act like a tubing mascara in the fact that your lashes are not going to drop, nothing's going to flake or smudge, and it comes off really easily. But I don't need warm water to take this off. This comes off with micellar water really, really, really easily. And that's really important for me. I don't ever want to be dragging my lashes. Now, I will say that I've seen recently people talking about the waterproof version of this, and I saw people slating it on Reddit. It's obviously not the same thing. The waterproof one obviously is not as good, and I think it's in a black tube. Is it newer? I think it might be. Really, don't get that one. It sounds horrible. Essence Lash Without Limits, you are my number one, and I would pick this over anything from high end. Lip liners are an absolute no-brainer for me. I have one number one lip liner, and it's these from Maybelline, the Lifter lip liners. So obviously I have several shades of these, all bought with my own money. I adore these. The only thing is that I wish they would expand their range. They don't have the biggest range of shades in these, but anyway, the shades that I have, I absolutely adore. These are pigmented, they're creamy, there's no dragging, there's no pulling. They blend beautifully, and more importantly, they stay where they are, so it will prevent your lipstick from bleeding, from feathering. These are just beautiful, and as I've mentioned a million times before on this channel, I would pick them over anything that I've got high end. Having said that, I do need to give an honourable mention to the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners. I adore these so much, and they are so inexpensive. I think the only difference between this and the Maybelline is maybe the e.l.f. are not quite as creamy, and they don't last quite as long as the Maybelline. e.l.f. have the best shade range too. Yeah, I would recommend either of these, but if I had to choose, obviously Maybelline are my number one. There's loads of lip products that I love at the drugstore, so a lot of glosses, oils, balms that I love, and the lipstick that I've got on today is from L'Oreal. These are the Colour Riche Intense, and this is in the shade 601 Worth It, which is my favourite shade. So this is just a really beautiful pinky nude, which is my go-to, my preference. It's a beautiful satin finish, and it feels really hydrating. Obviously, it's not sticky. It's not drying in the slightest. I've had this on my lips for hours now, and it still feels super comfortable. And honestly, comfort is the most important thing for me. So obviously it looks pretty. It feels amazing, feels hydrating. The only thing I don't like about this lipstick is the fragrance. It's pretty strong, but I feel like you get that a lot. Whether it's drugstore or real luxury, they tend to pump the fragrance into them. If you're sensitive to it, give it a skip. It's not the best fragrance in the world, but the formula is beautiful. And my other favourite lipstick is from e.l.f. These are the Eau Face Satin Lipsticks. I mean, I've spoken about these since day one. These are, again, a satin lipstick. This is my favourite shade, which is Dirty Talk. I think I've been through 3 of these, which tells you how much I absolutely adore them. I think these are really high quality, so you get your lovely magnetic bullet. It gives you beautiful payoff, like a really high level of coverage, but still feels hydrated and lasts beautifully throughout the day as well. I mean, none of these are transfer proof, but I mean, that doesn't really bother me. I don't really have those high expectations for satin lipsticks, but really stunning, stunning formulas. While we're here, I do just want to mention 2 glossy oil type products, and one is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This is absolutely beautiful. I always get a bit freaked out with glosses because I feel like they're going to be sticky, but this is not sticky at all. It's just really beautiful and flattering. And the L'Oreal Plump Ambition lip oils. Now these are plumping, so there is a little bit of tingling with this one, but I don't find it to be problematic. I mean, I can't cope with excessive tingling like the NYX plumping lip liners. Oh my, I was actually worried when I put that on because it burned me so much. So this will tingle to start with, but then it will calm down. And this is an amazing dupe for the Dior lip glosses. So I did just want to mention them because I truly love them and use them regularly. I just quickly want to cover colour correctors because it's been something that I've been dabbling in. I don't really do it all the time, just now and again when I need a bit of extra help under these eyes. I really think this is an absolutely fantastic product. This is the NYX Colour Correcting Concealer Palette. So whether you are trying to correct redness, you can use the green, or whether you're trying to correct blue, you've got your peaches, you've got your pinks for brightening. This is an all-over palette, so you can use it all over the face, under the eyes, wherever, and it's really, really good. The formula is beautiful, very creamy, very hydrating, and it does the job, and that's what you want from your colour corrector. So yeah, would highly recommend this from NYX. Let's talk powder, and let's talk about loose powder first. I have to talk about 2 powders now because these 2 powders really do have my heart. The first one is from Wet n Wild. This is the Loose powder in the shade Pink. Now I have to be really specific here that it's the pink and not the original Photo Focus powder. I don't really care for the Wet n Wild original loose powder. Okay, I have it in my drawer and I never use it because it didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. It didn't stop my concealer creasing. It was fine. It was okay. But when I picked this up and tried it, I was blown away because I didn't think this would work for me. But it really does. I have really dry, crepey under eyes, and this just blurs everything beautifully, keeps my concealer set in place, whether I'm using a high-end concealer or whether I'm using a drugstore concealer, this works with it, and it just helps to really subtly brighten my under eyes. But before the Wet n Wild came along, I was really loving this. This is the L'Oreal Blurfection powder. This is really, really good. Oh my gosh, it's so incredibly beautiful. The only drawback with this is that the teeny tiny amount of products that you get with this, it's ridiculous. 6 grams, 20 grams, and this is $15, and I'm assuming this is about $5 in the US. It just makes no sense to me, none at all. I don't use much powders. This will probably last me quite a long time. But if you're using a lot of powder and if you're using it all over your face, then you're going to go through this really quickly. But I can't deny how stunningly beautiful it is. It really does blur. It leaves you with a flawless finish, especially under the eyes. I really do recommend it, but it's pricey. And as for pressed powder, when I was going through my pressed powders, I really couldn't choose between two. I know I'm so annoying, aren't I? I'm so sorry. I really enjoy this from L'Oreal. This is the True Match Super Blendable Perfecting Powder. I don't know whether this is listed as something else in the US, but I really like this. It comes in this beautiful little compact, and you actually get a little built-in mirror there as well. But this just does a great job at toning down the shine, setting everything in place, blurring everything. It's really beautiful. But today I'm actually wearing this from Maybelline. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless setting powder. This is stunning. The only thing I don't really love about it is the shade. This is the best shade for me, which is Natural Ivory. And yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit yellow, like with a lot of drugstore products, a little bit yellow. It is beautiful. It really does keep everything set in place. Doesn't settle into any of my lines, either of them. Don't settle into my lines and wrinkles, just perfectly set everything in place and keeps it there. And we're going to finish off now with setting spray, and my all-time favorite is this from e.l.f. Don't ask me where the cap is, I lost that a long time ago. So this is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Obviously, if you have more oily skin, you are not going to enjoy something like this. This has an oil-based formula, so obviously if you've got oilier skin, you're not going to like it, but I really enjoy this. It gives me that hydration that sometimes I'm really, really lacking, especially as we go through to the winter months, and it genuinely does help with the longevity of my makeup. e.l.f. do have another setting spray that I've just recently rediscovered. I used to use this about 2 years ago and then, just got left in a drawer. Picked it up recently, and this genuinely helps with the longevity of your makeup. So it claims 16 hours. I mean, I don't wear my makeup for 16 hours generally, but it really does help to keep your makeup on your face, and it feels lovely. It smells lovely. This is a fantastic product, but I think because it's a bit older, it gets forgotten, but it's genuinely really, really good. So great for dry skin, great for oilier skin. At the moment, these are my number ones and some number 2s and 3s. Do let me know what are your standout drugstore products. I would absolutely love to hear what you've been loving and what are holy grails to you too. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.